Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Penrith Football Stadium, especially to our Perth and Adelaide viewers this afternoon. Glorious conditions here at the foot of the Blue Mountains west of Sydney for this match between Penrith and Western Suburbs. Very warm, in fact. We've had some cold nights in Sydney in recent weeks, but ideal conditions today for this match. The Penrith Panthers, the only undefeated side remaining after 8 rounds or 7 completed rounds of the Winfield Cup this year. It is Mark Geyer here in round 8 of the Winfield Cup, though, who has the responsibility of captain. First time for the Panthers. He'll be looking for a big one after Wednesday night's disappointment at Lang Park, as his Penrith Panthers try to remain undefeated. Paul Clark and Paul Dunn in the front row, 2 of the form players, and Geyer with that added responsibility, the skipper's tag. At times he's been known to be a fiery customer. He will have to temper that today to lead his side to victory. But Penrith have been the form team of the Winfield Cup. Fittler, they'll be looking to him to try and replace the skills of Greg Alexander. Scott Allen will be there in 22 at hooker to replace Simmons. Ivan Henjak looking determined as he leads out this Western Suburbs side. What a chance for the Magpies here in this one. A victory that could give them clear 5th in the Winfield Cup so far. Jackson, he'll start on the reserves bench. Gillespie passes him. He will be in the starting lineup. Another blue from Wednesday night, out for a big game. The Magpies, who have only won 3 matches against the Penrith Panthers since 1984. Devine, Burns, Farah, Wire, Casado, Henjak, Taylor, Liddon, Gibbs, Wynn, Gillespie, Thomas, Rampling, the coaches, Warren Ryan. McCallum checks with both sides. Greg Barwick to do the honours for this Penrith side. To mothers everywhere throughout Australia and all those fans over in New Zealand as well. Hope it's a great day for you on Mother's Day. Sit back, relax, put your feet up now that the husbands have made dinner, and enjoy this clash between the Panthers and the Magpies. Rampling, who's been in good form for Western Suburbs, taking it up the middle. Their forward pack has been in tremendous form. Liddon at back row tonight. Farah kicking early. And Barwick, who has been in sensational touch for Penrith. 40 metres out from his own line. In 1990, here at Penrith, it was a close one. The Panthers won it 28-26. In the second round, the Magpies turned it around 22-12.
And plenty of feeling left over from that second round match between Western Suburbs and Penrith. A lot of spite in that match, and there's still plenty of feeling between these two clubs. Hopefully it won't erupt today.
Elam a dummy half. Ben Alexander, Carter, keeping it along the deck away from Devine. A good kick that'll find touch about 8 metres out. Carter with a lot of responsibility at 5'8". He will also handle some kicking duties that Greg Alexander would have performed. Billy Anderson, this is what you call ideal rugby league weather.
That certainly is, Graham. Western Suburbs won the toss and they elected to defend the end, running into whatever breeze there is, but the temperature, wind and so on, that's not going to affect the outcome here today.
How do you see it?
Well, it's going to be a tough, tight game. Penrith have got a few more game breakers, but Jason Taylor is in superb form as a goal kicker, and really I think that kicking's going to be the thing. Goal kicking and kicking in general play that'll decide the outcome.
This penalty for Western Suburbs to take the heat off. They haven't won at Penrith since 1985, the Magpies. Penrith remain unbeaten here at home for nearly 12 months. What a record that is.
That's a tremendous record, particularly when you consider that Penrith have had quite a few of their key players out with injuries at various stages of the past 12 months. It's a magnificent effort.
Thomas to Farah, the centre, who comes looking for some walk amongst the forwards. 175 points for Penrith, just 72 against. The Magpies 145 and 100. It's some 30 tries to Penrith this year, 18 for Western Suburbs.
But it really is their defence that's got them where they are so far this year. They've got the best defence in the league, and they're looking to keep it that way.
Taylor, good ball to Gibbs to get to an outside. Burns couldn't unload for Devine, who joined in.
And that's what I'm talking about. Whenever a half break's made, there's cover defence there to cut it off.
Big Bob coming down. Barwick standing his ground. Was he taken out of it? Well, McCallum's going to rule that a ball was knocked forward by West, but Barwick looked as though he was taken out of this.
Yeah, we'll have a look at the replay here, and we can see that Greg Barwick was impeded by 2 or 3 of the Western Suburbs players. It's hard to see where the knock-on came from, but Greg McCallum was right on the spot.
Ellum for Guy.
Won't he be looking for a big game today? He received a fair bit of criticism, as did quite a few of the New South Wales forwards during the week. And as captain, he'll be looking to motivate his side and inspire them today.
He'll get a chance right here as they go downfield. Penalty from McCallum. Just short of halfway. Barwick to put it down near or inside the 22. Earlier this afternoon, in the President's Cup, 24-18 to Penrith. The reserves 20-10 to West. Mackay in midfield. The Panthers with their first raid of this match. Done. Another not to be forgotten when you start talking about selection in State of Origin sides. Walker. Big pack of forwards. Clark. Clark also comes to mind with a possible Blues jumper. Dyer dummying and standing, getting the ball out. They've bombed it. The Winfield Cup point scoring freak this year, as far as tries are concerned, had a great opportunity here. The captain leading the way and laying on a chance for Smith. The ball was there to be taken. He fumbled it.
Yeah, the try was at his mercy there. He just snatched at the ball and, unfortunately for him, spilled it.
Paul Smith, 8 tries as we go into this final split round of round 8 of the Winfield Cup. He could have made it 9. 32 out west. Ronnie Gibbs. He gets 40 metres away. What a start, Bill, but Geyer is really trying to get involved from the start.
Yeah, he sure is. That was a suitor ball he put on. Paul Smith's taken everything that's come his way this year. If he's got one thing, it's coolness under pressure, and he finishes off tries when they're there. That was one blemish.
We talk about Geyer, Bill. If Geyer and Fittler play well, they should be the ones to lead the way.
Yeah, the thing that Penrith are lacking, they've got Simmons and Alexander out. That's their dummy half and their first receiver, the 2 men who handle the football most in the game. And that could upset their combination a little bit, but you're right. You know, we're going to see Fittler and Geyer carry them if Penrith are going to carry the day.
Izzard might have his say as well, as the Panthers miss this. The brilliance of Greg Alexander and the experience and the cool of Royce Simmons. There's Royce Simmons watching on sideline.
And let's keep our fingers crossed for Royce Simmons too. He hopes to be back next week, but if that ankle injury doesn't respond to treatment, he may have to have an operation.
Bradley taken. One more tackle left for Penrith. Ben Alexander just happy to pick up 15 more metres down the sideline. No angle. So many mannerisms like his big brother.
Yeah, and also got a very good kicking game. His kicking game relies around short kicks for line. That's Ben Alexander there, whereas his brother has more of a longer kicking game.
That ball was touched, so Penrith coming up with it.
Yeah, Ben's not as fast as Greg, but who is?
That's about right. They go wide. Bradley turning it back up the middle. Good defence from the Magpies. Dunn. Dunn stepping. 8 metres out, Penrith. Fittler goes without it. Couple of dummy runners. Geyer out wide for Barwick. Well, Mark Geyer only moments ago gave a chance out wide. It wasn't accepted. This one was. Geyer was the instrumental part of both components. He got very wide on the MMI replay. Good quick hands, some dummy runners. Geyer floating it beautifully for Barwick. And this man has been in great touch for the Panthers.
Yeah, Mark Guy obviously looking to get involved in a big way today. Western Suburbs defence condenses as they always do, but they didn't come up quick enough there. Guy had plenty of time to float the ball out, and Barwick finished with no one in front of him.
Barwick from out wide. He's got 5 tries this year. Now, well, I thought it might have been another goal. It's just wide. But it's Penrith on the MMI big game, 4-0 over West. The one thing about this Penrith side, I don't think the preparation would have been all that difficult for them because of the fact that I think, Bill, the replacements for Simmons and Alexander have been training for nearly a fortnight in this top side.
Terrific depth in the Penrith club, and if a player pulls out, they can put someone in who does have ability. But they haven't been that unsettled as you've suggested. They've had a couple of weeks to prepare for this game. Geyer played in the State of Origin, but didn't play the full 80 minutes, and Fittler didn't play long either, Graham.
Now McCallum calling out Bradley here for this tackle on Devine. Just a swinging arm in it. And West look like they'll get a chance at some points here.
With radar boot.
Some scrappy play here. Taylor will be the man that has the kick for West. Now Bradley comes in here on Devine. Missed him the first time. Grabs him on the second occasion.
Wasn't
Fairly
really a swinging
inconclusive.
arm. Yeah, it looked like it was just a high tackle. Came in around the head.
There is his point of view. 10 metres in from the sideline. Taylor starts to fade it back, but not enough. Smith did well to take that and bring it back into the field of play.
Yeah, it was tippy toes on the dead ball line there.
4-0 the score remains. 8 metres out from their own line. Ben Alexander with a good little dart from dummy half. He's still going.
It'll be a good test of Western Suburbs defence here to see if they can stop these big Penrith forwards steaming over the advantage line. They need to try and get some field position, otherwise they're going to be in trouble.
Very interesting. In just a week's time, that situation will bring a penalty for stealing the ball. In round 9, that will be the new rule, that you can't do that. Smith. Alexander for Carter. Carter with a good step. Crowd was calling for a trip. McCallum would have none of it. Carter had got up and had plenty to say.
Yeah, a fair bit of responsibility on Steve Carter today as well. As Billy pointed out, Royce Simmons out of the lineup, who is the usual dummy half. We've also got Greg Alexander out, who's the usual first receiver. So the man that has to come in and dominate, a man with a little bit of experience having played in the rep sides, is Steve Carter.
Clark puts down a simple one. West come up with a penalty because Joe Thomas got a push in the back as he got up to play the ball. Another opportunity here for Jason Taylor. Taylor, all concentration. He slipped as he tried to kick it. He fell over. So 2 chances at goals for West. They can't grab either of them. Izzard. 4-0 Panthers. Clark another fumble. Here's a chance for the Magpies. Quick hands to Burns. Burns dummying his way through.
Great cover tackle there by Ben Alexander as well.
2 big mistakes from Clark. Another penalty to West. 10 minutes in the bin. Bradley is out of here for 10 minutes, lashing out in that play of the ball. Now they've missed their first 2 chances at goal. Devine just to put this one over the sideline. West are on the restart quickly. They've forgotten all about the goals.
Well, I think they believe with 12 men on the field, there's a chance to crack the Penrith defence here.
Burns. He finished up only a couple of metres away. Wire was down, receiving attention in the last 5 minutes. Now back to his feet. Gets this started for Casado. He throws the dummy. Not taken by Ben Alexander. 12 men for Penrith against the 13. Gibbs going nowhere. Good defence. Midfield. Taylor dashing across to switch play. That was nearly taken. It was beautifully read by Fittler. He couldn't knock it up in the air and continue on. He read that Taylor was going to go wide.
Yeah, Jason Taylor telegraphed this somewhat. He threw a bit of a dummy before he offloaded, and Brad Fittler read that very, very well.
Penrith do have a very good defensive line. Only 70-odd points scored against them so far this year, and they've showed it again today. I think West will go to their kicking game.
Well, they might come up with a try. Out wide, Casado gets it. Farah was allowed to continue on, and that defensive line has been busted. But there are only 12 out there. Bradley's in the bin. And Casado comes up with the first Magpies try. Taylor running to try and create the extra man on the MMI replay. And then Farah struggling out of the tackle of Carter and getting wide, keeping the ball free. Good ball out too. He got it to Casado. Wire was out on the wing, and Casado comes up with a try.
Yeah, very good work here. The important thing here is that Andrew Farah came into 5'8". Now, he used his strength here to bustle out of the Steve Carter tackle, stay on his feet, and he then drew in Brad Izzard, and also Graham Mackay offloaded to Tony Casado, and he goes in for the try.
Tony Casado gets try number 2 for 1991. The 23-year-old sales clerk to try and sneak a lead here for the Magpies. This is right on line. Taylor with a magic kick. West 6, Penrith 4. Dunn not getting the pack properly into that scrum until the last moment. Henjak, Farah, run around. Decided to throw the dummy. Back for Taylor. Taylor will finish right on the halfway line. Rampling. Almost lost his head there for a minute. 7-4 the scrums to the Magpies. One of those against the feed. Swinging arm from Clark over the top of Wynn. Thomas allowed plenty of room up the middle. Gillespie to Farah. They've split them up the middle. 11 metres out now, Penrith. Back to their own line. Thomas goes to Henjak and Taylor. Taken well by Casado. Pile of defenders in front of him, nowhere to go. Last tackle against the Magpies now. Taylor keeps it along the deck. Running badly for Barwick to Smith. In his own end goal. Can't improve the situation. Good pressure play from the Magpies. They're going to get it back. Good thinking.
Yeah, great tactics there from Jason Taylor. He kicked the ball through, went into the in-goal area. Paul Smith had to take it because it didn't go. Didn't look like going dead. And great chasing there from the Western Suburbs defence. Now Penrith have got to try and hold out for another 6 tackles.
Barwick hanging this one up there. 50 metres on the fly for Casado. He slips. Penrith got the first try of this match, but in the last 10 minutes it's been all West. Nothing much in that scoreline of 6-4, but the Magpies continue to build. Gillespie.
Nothing flash from Western Suburbs here. They're just hitting it up power after power. They're keeping pressure on the Penrith side, just hoping that they'll crack under sustained pressure.
Devine there. Nearly running into some of his own teammates. One more tackle, again along the deck. This time it's easier for Mackay.
Once again, Taylor looking for the in-goal kick there to try and pin the Penrith players in goal, but the kick a little bit too short, and now they're going to have to try and defend Penrith down inside their quarter.
Walker. Took some heavy hits, but still wanted to continue on.
The man who put that hit on was Joey Thomas. He started this game at 100 miles an hour. I suppose he's got a sniff of State of Origin football, and he's looking for a very big game today.
Yeah, he doesn't miss in defence too often, Wayne, does he?
He's one of the big defenders. In fact, you look at their side, they've got Gillespie and Thomas, 2 of the biggest hitters in the game.
Barwick. Driving kick.
Trying Ronnie Gibbs there too.
Certainly do hurt amongst the forwards. It makes you wonder, do you start talking about Thomas replacing Elias for State of Origin too?
Yeah, well, that's a case for the selectors. I mean, Benny was on the end of a losing side. I mean, when you think about it, there was only 2 points in the match. I wouldn't be making too many changes at all.
But he is a man in real form, and one of the reasons why Wests are travelling so well now. Rampling. Thomas has also got the skills too from dummy half to find some holes. And here's the call from Taylor to switch. Gillespie getting it back to Devine. He steps but can't beat the tackle of Dunn. Henjak running around in circles for a few seconds and then running out of support. 7 missed tackles by Penrith. Taken well, that pass from dummy half by Farah. Barwick running away from Thomas. They're back to their 22 once more.
And look how slowly the Penrith side's getting back into position. I don't know whether they're fatigued or whether they're just not as keen as they have been, but it's an unlikely sight or an unusual sight to see Penrith so lethargic when running with the ball.
Yeah, West getting really good use out of their kicking game, continually turning Penrith around, and Penrith are starting to show the signs of wear and tear on it.
Bentley. Mackay's not as he runs onto this one. Beats the tackle of Devine. Quick play the ball here, and it's West's turn to be in trouble.
Great cover from Joey Thomas coming across as well.
Here goes Fittler. Fittler gets it over the top. Walker, great ball to Carter. McCallum's got it for a forward pass. I wasn't so sure. Paul Dunn asked the question, but McCallum was adamant. Now, Fittler gets it away here to Walker. Walker to Carter. Geez, I couldn't have called much in that one.
Line ball. I think that was that really was something that we couldn't pick up on the camera there. It had to be Greg McCallum's decision. He was in the right spot. You've got to go with him.
Henjak. It's the sort of team they are, Penrith. The individuals they've got. You can have them hanging on, then all of a sudden from deep in their own territory, they can hurt you.
Yeah, they've got some game breakers. You don't want to blink against them.
They've got some great attacking players, and they've got some great finishers out wide as well. I mean, Mackay and Smith are 2 of the best finishers in the game.
Gillespie. One of the busy ones in this first half. Gillespie, Thomas, Rampling. Taylor. Barwick's had some work to do. Henjak has chased that one well. He got good support from Liddon. It is turning out to be a real tough one here for the Panthers. After 7 rounds, they were undefeated. 6 wins and a draw. That's what gives them the 13 points. They need to win this one to stay on top of the Winfield Cup. Currently sitting there as North Sydney on 14. 6-4 to West. Carter. Was he tackled? You bet he was. That's the sort of good call that you enjoy from a referee. Carter running to the outside of Burns, knowing that he was running out of room, taken, and then pulled over the sideline once the tackle had already been completed.
Yeah, that was a good penalty, good decision there by Greg McCallum. The tackle had been made, a second movement was involved to drag him over the touchline. Well played, Greg McCallum.
The danger bells are ringing for West inside the last 2 minutes before half-time. The Panthers looking for this all-important try to give them some room, some breathing space at the break. Izzard, Carter brings in Barwick. Barwick's got Bentley. Bentley to Mackay. Mackay trying to get started. He does well to stay away from the paint.
Penrith look so much more dangerous when they move the ball around out wide.
Bradley, head down like a front rower. Takes some stopping too, even from a big man like Farah. Now there's some more big men. Walker.
Yeah, this is where Brad Fittler comes into his own opposition quarter.
Ben Alexander to Carter. Big switch of play to Cartwright. Cartwright, one-hander back to Clark. Clark up the middle, last tackle. Good defence from West. Alexander, chip, Smith is there. Beats him. Just too strong. Good survival by the Magpies.
Yeah, they scrambled well in defence here, but this little kick over the top, intended for Paul Smith, a little bit too hard, and as a result, it went out over the touching goal line.
Bounce of a ball can really make a fool out of you. If that had him sat up, it was still try time.
That's the problem you run into with an oblong-shaped ball. Should I say oval-shaped ball? I've never looked at it mass either.
Sounds good to me. Rampling taking his time to get up. Back for Burns. Only seconds before half-time. Just looking to kill the play, Wes. Been a good fight back from them after the early try to Penrith. There's the siren. And the Magpies will be happy with this first half at the Penrith Stadium. Penrith not so happy, but the Western Suburbs coach Warren Ryan is. And they lead at half-time, 6 points to 4. (6-4) here at the Penrith Stadium to Western Suburbs as we start this second half. Good performance from the Magpies in the first. Taylor to get things underway for the Magpies. Bill, all of a sudden at half-time, a bit of a breeze has sprung up.
Yeah, that's right, and that's going to confound somewhat what Warren Ryan wants Western Suburbs to do, and that was to continue to kick and turn the Panthers around. This breeze is going to make it a bit harder. It's into their face.
What else was the rap from the Penrith side?
Yeah, well, Phil Gould wants a bit more urgency from his Panthers in getting the ball out of their own quarter. They were slow and lethargic at times to get back there, but I think he'll get it.
Fittler. Just outside the 22 for the Panthers. Clark.
Well, that looks a bit better so far, doesn't it?
Starting to make that advantage line. Dummy from Allen.
But interesting to note, still no Mark Geyer out there on the paddock, and it really was no coincidence that when he left the paddock, Western Suburbs started to dominate.
Down for Devine. Devine stepping. Now the Magpies playing into this slight breeze. It'll be interesting to see what their kicking tactics are. Geyer wrapped up in a blanket. Is there any injury report on Geyer, Bill?
No, there's not. It's as we suggested. It was from state of origin and tiredness, and they're giving Cartwright a good hit out. It may well be that they throw him back on at some stage of this second half.
He'll be straight on if there's another Magpie score, I would think.
Plenty of confidence there from Phil Gould. Obviously believes that Penrith are in no trouble as yet. The scoreboard tells a different tale.
Taylor. That's good pressure from this Penrith side. Way back. So the Panthers, can they set their spinnaker and really come home with it? Carter. A little bit slow in the play of the ball. Walker will play at 32 out.
Yeah, both teams are a little sluggish to start this second half. They want to get their minds back on the job pretty quick smart.
Fittler tried to step through. Western Suburbs have really been awake to the fact that he can step up either foot. Whenever Fittler has gone to the line, a good defensive line inside and out. Van Alexander knocked down by West. 6 more, but the Panthers can't handle it. But the original knock on against the Magpies means that Penrith will have the feed. No advantage for Penrith. Little chip from Alexander, which was on for a second.
Yeah, no second line of defence there, and it was good thinking from Ben Alexander. The kick just not quite high enough.
Thomas and Rampling trying to get down in the front row. And Alexander stays on the blind side. And Taylor stays on him. Wonderful opportunity here for the Panthers. 9 metres out from the west line. Fittler. Raw being set up here by the Penrith fans. Carter. Gap open, then closed quickly. Walker. Walker just setting things up in the forwards. Right to the line, West. Alexander kicked. Then he got another boot to it after it was trapped by some West players. Thomas was there on the spot. Wasted chance by Penrith in the end.
Penrith had numbers on the left-hand side of the field there. Ben Alexander saw that, but took the option, which was to kick for himself, and Joe Thomas cleared it up yet again.
I think the defence was up too quickly for him. He was forced probably to stay close to the ruck. Gillespie brings it away, and they keep their nose in front, the Magpies, 6-4. Jackson. Good solid run from him. Farah. Much better positional play from the west side to give some room for Farah in the kick. Barwick across the field trying to get over to Mackay's wing. He was looking to position him to the outside. Then he thought Farah might have fallen for a feint, but he didn't.
Yeah, good chase there from Farah, and two tackles, one on top of the other. That'd please Coach Warren Ryan.
Clark.
Still no support for these Penrith forwards, though. They're running one out, as was Paul Clark there. They've got to try and support one another to make the tackles a little tougher.
Ball sitting up as Carter drives it to the sideline. Now he gets it to roll on the second and third bounce. They will kick and continue to kick with that breeze at their back.
Western Suburbs with the feed here. They'll be looking to work out solid set of 6 tackles and get some field position. They haven't had any reasonable field position so far in the second half.
On the other side of it, Penrith trying to put some pressure on here with some strong defence. Move up quickly. See if they can put some pressure on the kicker as well. Gillespie. 4 defenders on Gillespie, so he really did drag them towards him. Now, fighting his way out of the tackle. Jackson gets it back for Taylor. Casado ducks under a couple of tackles. They've nearly got it to halfway. Taylor's going to do the rest with the kick. The ball was touched by Penrith. Barwick, because of that, has no room to move. All the chasers were put onside. Mackay. He remains a second-string kicker for this Penrith side behind Barwick. Carter. Walker. Jackson's there. Carter doubling around. Showing it. Carter putting the foot down. Getting away from Taylor. Good run from Carter. Here's a roll-on for Penrith if he can get up. He does so quickly. Done. He meets that advantage line.
Guy has got the call to arms. He's getting ready on the sideline.
Alexander. Cartwright off a West player. Well, I thought that was off a West man. McCallum said no as we see Guy come on. Cartwright tries to get this pass out around the back. I thought that came off West's hands.
It's hard to tell from that replay, but something pushed the ball forward. It didn't look like it was Cartwright's original motion.
Walker is the man that's left the field for Guy.
Guy straight into the action. He's keen and revved up.
Bill Gould sensing that Penrith really do need something now. Devine. 39 tackles in the opposition half for Penrith. Only 23 for the Magpies. Now 24 as Wynn gets there. Thomas. Real steadying influence on this west side. Last tackle. Taylor. Kicking straight to Barwick. Barwick is wrapped up by the man who put the kick in, as well as Darren Britt, who's out there in 21. Smith. Off his wing.
Strong run there from Paul Smith. 10 yards through, or 10 metres through the middle of the rucks. Guy on the burst on the edge of the ruck.
He adds some sting, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does, and they do need it, Bill.
Yeah, they do. They've been struggling a bit to get over the advantage line comfortably, but he'll do that. Not only this sort of sting when he's running with the ball, but he's the sort of player that puts doubt into opposition's minds as well.
Well, there was a lot of doubt in his own teammates' minds with that pass. It wasn't on at any stage. There was too many defenders around him.
That's probably a legacy, you know, of the interchange rule. It's all well and good to be able to bring players on and off, but when you go back on after you've had a fairly lengthy spell, it can be a bit hard to get your timing. Your fingers are cold and you can make a mistake.
Well, no mistake from Gillespie. Burns on Barwick. Good fullback defence. Devine. Devine allowed to run. And he gets 2 metres away.
Big backline screaming for the ball out to the right.
Massive overlap for West if they can get it there in a hurry. Now the chance is on. Wire. Guy's there in cover. Too late. The Magpies get it out there very professionally. The veteran Graham Wynn celebrates with a try. And the overlap really does tell here on the MMI replay. Long, long ball. It floated and stayed up there for a long time for Taylor. Quickly and very good hands from Farah to Wire. Wire took on the defence, dragged them into him, out to Wynn, and Wynn gets his first try of the season.
Yeah, Penrith were at 6s and 7s trying to stop the try on the previous ruck. They were short on the right-hand side of the field there. Graham Mackay had to come in and make the tackle here. Left an overlap for Wire. He did very, very well. Showed some good footwork. Popped the ball over the back. And how good was it to see Graham Wynn get there? He really made it the difference.
Yeah, didn't Wire play well here? Firstly, there was the long pass over the top from Taylor, but Wire would have had a lot of things going through his mind, but to me, he always seemed to know what he was going to do with it. He faked to come back on the inside, but he knew Wynn was going to bob up on the outside. Got him the ball. Carter came across in cover, but no stopping Wynn from there.
Graham Wynn gets the try, 32 years of age. I said veteran. He is certainly that, a former Australian rep. Now, that tackle made by Izzard on Wire, the two of them clashed. Now, a clash of heads, and they lie side by side. This is how they ended up on the ground. Izzard, and I think the way they've come down, they've clashed heads. The momentum taking them down to the ground. So out of a spectacular try, we unfortunately see two players leaving the field. Teammates of both sides very concerned with it all.
Yeah, Brad Izzard there really put his body on the line when he came in to try and make that tackle. And, unfortunately, paid a price for it.
Great ovation from the home fans for Izzard and Wire. And he's a key man in attack for this side. It's been quite a wait for Jason Taylor out on the sideline to try and convert this try.
A tough kick too, Graham, kicking across that breeze, particularly a right arm around the corner kicker, a right foot around the corner kicker.
He already has one from 3, and that was from way out on the sideline. Everyone has an off day. This man is one of the best in the business, though. He can't get it. 10 points to 4. West over Penrith. Now, McCallum warning both captains that he thought there's a little bit too much spite coming into some of the tackles. 18 kicks in play from the Magpies. 13 from the Panthers. They need a converted try, Penrith. Clark. (10-4) to the Magpies. Alexander up the middle. Good run from Alexander, still going. They still can't put him down, now they do. Guyer's going to kick. Not normally his trademark. And Devine gets across there. He tried something that I've never seen from him before. It didn't come off. They looked as though they might have been better off going wide.
Yeah, I don't think there's any need to take risks and try and score on the first or second tackle. Penrith really have got the ability in the side to just grind away and work for points.
Well, West have made a mistake. The sort of mistakes in the first half that Penrith made that led to a try. Ben Alexander coming into his own. Clark also. The Panthers. A lot of time left in this football match. No need to really push it at the moment. Barwick got it out just too late. Fractionally too late for Smith. They'll get another chance here though, Penrith. That ball was kicked through by Jamie Ainscough.
Yeah, almost very, very costly there. They took the odds to it. They're just taking too many risks that they don't have to take it at this stage of the match.
Walker is back out there. Ellum looked for some support. Decided to go alone. Cartwright
It's something of a foreign situation for Penrith. They're not used to being behind on the scoreboard. This will test their patience and also their mental attitude.
Yeah, they've got plenty of that. They're a mature football team in 91.
Guy standing there like a colossus. Loses it again. Well, I think they've got to have a good look at the clock, Penrith, and realise that they've got a lot more time left in this game than they think. Farah getting through. West might make them pay dearly here. Thomas. A lot calmer in general play, Western Suburbs.
Yeah, they just grind away. Look, nothing flash here. They're not looking to offload. They're not looking to score points quickly.
Now, what's the call? I think McCallum had blown his whistle for a possible spear tackle. And the warning here for Fittler. Now, was it or wasn't it? It looked as though it might be going to be a spear tackle, but in the end he only ended up rolling onto his back and shoulder.
Yeah, it looked like he pulled out of that one, but that just shows you the strength of Brad Fittler. I mean, he just picked up the Western Suburbs player there with great ease, just dropped him down on his back. Fortunately for him, he didn't drop me on his shoulder.
I know it's a tough one for referees to spear tackle, but I think in the end McCallum might have been a little bit hasty here in blowing the whistle.
Yeah, the tackle hadn't been affected, and it was a tough penalty, and it could be a very costly penalty.
He's had some difficult ones today. This has been his easiest just about. He makes no mistake. The Magpies online for the big upset. It is 12 points to 4. Some stunned home fans. They had a lead of 4 points to 0, Penrith. Now the scoreboard is telling us a sorry tale against them, but a major break here. Not touched. Luckily not touched by Casado.
Yeah, almost a big change of luck here for the Penrith side. If Casado got a hand to that, it would have been there put in, but looks like he didn't quite touch the ball, which means that they should come up with possession from this scrum.
This completion of the split round 8 of the Winfield Cup had another major upset yesterday when East accounted for the Brisbane Broncos.
Yeah, the competition this year just so even.
And it could happen here again today. Graham Wynn pounded by a shoulder charge from Gaia. It looks like it might be good night for him. Gaia flew in on this tackle. Crunch with the shoulder charge. Wynn lost the ball. Picked up by his teammates. But he's still down on the deck. Casado now out wide. Mackay gets back to his position to get to him. Taylor. Hectic pace now in this game. Paul Smith. Smith straightening.
Now, Penrith here, they don't have to take too many risks. They've just got to work away, get some field position, and try and maintain some pressure on Western Suburbs, something that they haven't been able to do in this second half.
Yeah, I'll tell you one of the problems they're going to have. It looks as if Izzard wasn't in fact put in the blood bin because he was unconscious, and Penrith have used up 6 replacements.
So some major problems for them there too. Smith going infield. Graham Wynn quickly assisted from the field. Really doesn't know where he is. Ronnie Gibbs will be the replacement. So in some respects, Gibbs goes out there to strengthen the West defensive line. 12-4 those handling errors. Penrith don't need to score off every play of the ball. This kick is too long. Devine stepping. The pressure is building, but Wests are handling it well. Gibbs quickly off the bench and quickly into play. Back slam by Ben Alexander. 12-4 to the Magpies. Thomas. Only 2 or 3 metres up the middle. Good advantage line run from Darren Britt.
And Western Suburbs really giving Penrith a lesson, or taking a leaf out of the Penrith handbook today. They're playing a game that's pretty well mistake-free, playing percentage football, and they're getting away with it.
And then they go back to the cool hands. And once more it's Farah. He knows the shortcuts. West doing it so well. Bill, I don't know that you look for really anybody head and shoulders in this Western Suburbs side. They are all playing so well.
Been a real team effort, and this game was always going to be a test for them. It was the top of one division, Penrith, playing one of the sides fairly well up in the other division, so it was a game that was going to tell them just how they were going.
Penrith guilty of not really checking the clock, though, Bill. They're trying to do too much from early tackles.
They're trying to push the ball down their own end of the field, and if you are going to move the ball around, up the other end's where you've got to be. I just think that the game's starting to get away from a little bit. Wouldn't they give their eye whatever to get Greg Alexander on the field? But of course he's out injured, but he's the one player in their ranks that could have turned it around for them.
Devine slips across the paddock. Too much defence down there. And now
big chase there from the skipper, Mark Geyer. He's still looking to inspire them. It's not over yet, in his eyes anyway.
Burns. Gillespie.
And hasn't he played well this afternoon? He would have to be topping the hit-ups for Western Suburbs, and every time he's run the ball, he's gained 5 and 10 metres.
Casado, the second time he's touched it. He's a tired man, Gillespie. The second time, I was going to say, for Casado in that 6. Desperate times are called for now. As we go down to around 12 minutes left in the game, Bowie to the outside of Gibbs. He gets pushed in the back. He took a risk, but he did well to stay away from the sideline. Carter. Clark showed it. Tries to keep it back. He did well to push it back to Walker. Here's some numbers. They didn't go out wide. Carter can. Geyer showed it once. A big gap up the middle. He kicks again. Bentley running through. Thomas gets back there. Now what tremendous cover from a hooker. Geyer needed to put that kick very deep instead of a short chase.
Yeah, if it was a longer kick, in fact, it was a tremendous step by Geyer, but he needed to put a long kick in because he had 3 or 4 of the Penrith players chasing through. The kick was just too short, and great work by Joe Thomas.
Gibbs still pumping it out west.
Very methodical, nothing silly, no mistakes in the Western Suburbs play, and they'll just graft away, grind away, and try and keep Penrith contained down in their end of the field.
It was only a month ago that West had to win to really stay in touch with the 5, and then they decided to pick up some big scalps. They've knocked off Canberra, they've beaten Brisbane, and now the competition favourites and front runners are in danger.
They won the first game of the year. They lost the next 3, but they only lost each of those by a couple of points, and they played without luck. So, I mean, they've had a very good year so far, Western Suburbs. Full marks to Warren Lyon.
It has been an amazing club. They really know the story of survival. They're doing better than just survive here this afternoon. Penalty interference on Bowie. He wasn't given a clean shot at it. Bowie went without it. Quick tap from Penrith. Now the crowd starting to try and ride Greg McCallum. Penrith have got to try and forget about their own crowd here and some of the booing that's going towards the referee. That can get them fired up and get their minds off the job. They've just got to go back to the game that has served them so well. Mark Geyer getting a little bit frustrated. Now he's captain of this side. He's the man that's got to lead. Wouldn't let him play it cleanly. Losing his cool a little. Losing his cool a lot.
A real lot. He looks very angry there.
Ben Alexander.
They've got to start taking some risks now. I mean, the clock's starting to count down. There's not all that long to go. They've got to start throwing the ball around, letting the ball do some work, and take a few risks. If it comes off, then they're with a chance of winning this match.
It will be a great escape if they get out of here. Bowie, good ball over the top for Fittler. Mackay. West's across there, though. 4 and 5 players in cover defence. 7 minutes to go as Walker hits the line. Outside the 22, 12-4 to the Magpies. Dunn. Dunn goes inside that 22. Ellen screaming to his teammates to get there and support. Cartwright. Bentley straightening. 10 metres out, last tackle. They still can't bust this line. Geyer back for Walker. Jackson had to tie it up. He did. Carter gets a miracle pass away. Unbelievable. Geyer. Smith to the corner. Try. Oh, this game is going right down to the wire. I thought West had got to survive once more, but some scrambling play on the MMI replay. You will see some passes well and truly kept alive here. Walker sided the line. Jackson saw him, cut him off. He got it back. Carter scraped it. Got it back to Clark. He heard the call of an overlap. Smith, the cover defence, flying over. He got there.
Well, this is a case of just keeping the ball alive. Against Penrith, that's one thing you can't do because they've got so many good individual players. But Penrith took full marks to them. They kept the ball alive, particularly here, Barry Walker. There was no way in the world he was going to get it away. He popped it out the back somehow. Paul Clark saw the overlap on the blind side, off to Geyer. Geyer positioned Smith very, very well, and he went over for yet another try.
I wasn't quite sure how well he forced that ball. Dramatic kick here from Barwick, and it swings away. $12 points to 8 to West. The Panthers back in it. The try scorer, Smith, inside the last 5. Western Suburbs searching for this spot in the top 5. Penrith trying to stay on top of the comp.
Yeah, and Penrith still with it all to do. They've got to really let this ball do the talking as they did with that last try. Move it around and try and get outside this umbrella defence.
A little chip, Fittler. Great skill. He nearly had it on tap to keep it alive too. Nobody home for West at fullback. Plenty of cover defence though. Last tackle.
Will they run it to the left-hand side?
Bentley gets it out to Carter. Here's an overlap. West are tiring. Penrith coming home. Mackay touched. 6 more. They don't need to push it. The ball stolen by Devine. West have got it. That was the first tackle. How crucial is that?
Yeah, that was very costly. They had 5 more tackles. They had Western Suburbs shot to bits. But good effort by Devine here. He steals the ball.
Dunn was the one who had it stolen by Devine.
Would that have been a penalty next week?
It certainly would. Casado. Running from dummy half. The Magpies. Again, look to their forwards, Gillespie. Will Penrith get another shot at it? Liddon. Right on halfway. Important kick coming up for the Magpies to try and find it deep into one of the corners. Taylor does it well. They will settle for the scrum deep in the Penrith 22. 90 seconds to go. Bentley. Knocked down by West. It'll be a Penrith feed. Screams and shouts at either end. Some West fans there not realising that the Magpies had knocked it down.
And Devine in trouble at the back of the scrum.
Knocked down by Burns. Now Devine is with the trainer at fullback. If somebody makes a break, West could be in trouble. Carter. He's back on his feet. Fittler getting it to Ben Alexander. Time almost gone. Bentley. 35 seconds, we believe, left in this one. They need the try and the try to be converted, Penrith. Carter, little chip. West have got it. That should be it. Penrith can blame themselves. No, there's a little knock on. One more scrum. One more scrum to tell the story. There's the siren. It's all over. Western Suburbs have got the big upset, and they climb to the top 5. Successful coach Warren Ryan, and Penrith guilty of digging their own grave. But West really did stick to it through character. Great performance from the Magpies. They were down 4-0 early, but now this scoreline for them of 12-8. Casado and Wynn tries. Taylor 2 goals. Barwick and Smith are the try scorers for Penrith. 12-8. Mighty win to the Magpies.